A major switch in government is at the heart of a plan to cut emissions over the coming decades. Energy Minister Angus Taylor has laid out part of the Coalition's strategy without saying what target they're working towards.
A climate roadmap for driving down carbon emissions.
We want to lead the world on this.
A key part, winding back taxpayer subsidies for wind and solar as private investors fill the gap.
It's crucial that government not crowd out private sector investment.
Moving instead to fund new technologies.
Hydrogen, carbon capture and storage, lithium.
The Emissions Reduction Minister will take the plan to a global climate conference in November, but won't say if it'll include a net zero target for the second half of the century, as Australia signed up to in the Paris Agreement.
I'm saying we'll have a long-term strategy in place, and I'm saying that we're not going to have a target without a costing.
Hitting out at Labor for adopting the ambitious net zero goal by 2050 without a price tag or plan of action.
Sadly, a target without a plan is meaningless.
This is not a radical statement despite the squeals of horror from the climate deniers and the government.
On the election campaign, the former Labor leader was left exposed, unable to explain the cost of his climate targets.
When can people know, Mr Shorten, the cost of the economy? You didn't answer the question.
But he believes times have changed.
But every state and territory is committed to zero net emissions.
Meantime, a Senate inquiry into the sports rorts saga has heard more evidence about the handling of the grant program. A former boss of Sport Australia revealing she was surprised by the existence of a colour-coded spreadsheet showing the distribution of grants by electorate and political party.
What surprised you about it?
The colour-coded.
This after the Auditor-General claimed the scheme was biased in targeting seats the Coalition hoped to win at the last election. The Prime Minister also defending the timing of the last round of funding, with the final list of projects sent to Sport Australia minutes after the election had been called on April 11.
What occurred is she approved the projects on the 4th of April.
Labor not accepting the explanation, accusing the government of backdating the document.
There are continued matters which we will continue to prosecute through this select committee.
And with the inquiry extended until the end of June, the sports rorts saga isn't running out of steam. Eliza Edwards, Sky News, Canberra.